dokie, here we are, doing a cut test on the Winkler Crusher. Blade steel is EDC RV2. The factory edge seems very nice. Pretty high polished edge too. Not only is sharp, but it looks nice too. Big thanks to my buddy for letting me check this out. My buddy Byron. And he was cool enough to say that I could cut test it, so here we go. Starting off on the regular cardboard. I would call this a slicer. It's just thick, you know. And as you will see throughout the test here, this knife is not really made for like daily cutting tasks. It's more made for bushcrafty sort of outdoorsy stuff. At least that's my assumption. Because it's not particularly good at daily EDC tasks. On the double thickness cardboard, going against the grain here, definitely some muscle needed to push through it. It's cutting cleanly. It's not like the cardboard's bunching up or anything, but it feels very thick when you're pushing through, which it is. Pretty aggressive, quick belly down there toward the tip, so you got to raise way up to get to it. Not a great utility cutter, but it'll do some small jobs easily for you. But look at that, I'm almost like perpendicular to the cutting board. Is that the right word? Yeah. 90 degrees. Trying to use kind of the belly as a utility cutting area. That wasn't really working either. So, utility cutting, not the Crusher's strong suit. Let's get out the Cecil rope. This should be, one of the things this knife is good at. It wasn't doing great though, honestly. I don't think it was the blade shape. I think it was more the sharpness, maybe the edge bevel. I'm not quite sure. Maybe the thickness up there. Whatever it is, it wasn't doing awesome. It was doing okay. Let's cut up the leather glove here. It's soaking wet. I don't think that matters for the test, but it is. A little better on this stuff. Still, it's not cutting super cleanly all the way through. It's kind of a couple back and forths to get through it all the way. Next up, we were going to do the... I think I'm going to call this the edge killer. Seems like this really dulls knives pretty quick. The Crusher here is not getting through it. I gave up. I could have kept sawing and it would have gone through eventually, but it just wasn't going through. Just was not doing it. I think due to the thick geometry, and we're losing our sharp edge here. Let's try the big rubber tubing. It's going to be the same thing, same story. There we go. If I had time and permission from the owner, I would be. I don't know. I'm curious to see how this would do in an environment where the knife's designed for, batoning, chopping, making, preparing firewood, and all that bushcrafty stuff that I really don't know about at all. Be interested to see how it would do in that environment. The strap here really didn't make it very far at all through it. Let's try again here. Yeah, barely, maybe like a ½ inch in. So, you know, I think at this point it's really our sharpness that's going away. And when we get to the paper here in a minute, you will see that that is in fact the case. Let's get it out here and do some paper cutting. And yeah, pretty rough. If you get the right angle and you go at the right speed, you can get it. But definitely not cutting paper easily at all. Let's try stropping it. This is my first experience with EDC V2, so I really didn't know what to expect at all. And you know, I don't know if Winkler is known for their good heat treats or not. I just have no idea. So the fact that this is losing an edge quickly, I don't think it's, well, I don't know. I can't say if it's the blade steel, the properties of the blade steel itself, or if it's the heat treat that was done on it. I just don't know. The stropping helped a little. Not a whole lot though, really. The coating is holding up very nicely. Just some rub marks that'll go away with a little, you know, wet rag. I want to see how it bites into wood here. Maybe something a little more close to what it's made for. Cutting wood, whittling, chopping. Seems to bite in the wood nicely. Ergonomics are very good. Really 0 hot spots. It's a nice handle. I like it a lot. A little bit of choppy. This knife has some mass behind it, so, you know, it bites pretty deeply in. Kind of choke back on the handle a little bit. Give yourself some more power. Don't feel any damage to the edge. Definitely no noticeable rolls or any chips or anything like that. I'm going to run this really lightly over this high grit stone here on the edge of my strop, and just see if that does anything. There might be just I don't know, there might be still a burr on it, or I don't know, something. Sometimes that helps. And then I'll just strap it again. You know, there could be little tiny microscopic burrs that you can knock off by doing that the strop won't affect. Let's see here. Yeah, that seems to have helped pretty, you know, noticeably. It's not as sharp as it was before, but at least now it's pretty easily cutting paper. So there you go. You know, I wouldn't carry this daily, you know, as an EDC. But I was thinking that before I even tested it. It's just a little big. But now after testing it, you know, this is just, it's not meant for that. It's too thick. But, you know, if you wanted to, you could. You know, you'd get by for sure. Personally, though, yeah, I would use this for EDC. And, you know, draw whatever conclusions that you want from the testing here. So there you go. Please like the video before you leave, and I'll see you next time.